Yeah, and look, there's just still plenty of options, you know. Can you go for an aggressive bot lane again? But then the Jinx Tam Kench is there. It's just, you know, there's so many different things you can go for here.
I don't think that bot lane shouldn't even be in WE's mind. Like, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Again, we're not talking about some huge S plus tier like meta bot lane. So we're WE now gonna get their hands on the Lucian themselves. So realize, like, hey, we're gonna take this strong, aggressive 2v2 in the bot side and make sure it's a bit harder for TES to have that. But that is going to what ends up bringing out the Varus picks. Still going to have that level of aggressive trading available. And this time around, Mark going to be on the engaged support. He looked great on the Nami. But when you think about Mark, you still think about him being that all-in player, the Leonas, the Nautilus, and now he's going to be on that comfort.
Getting himself a nice hard engage here as WE look to be going back to the Maokai. Again, it feels like they're just defaulting to a lot of comfort here for the jungle. As much as it has been working out for the side of Team WE up until this series, there's just been so many times where this Maokai just felt so unintuitive for Heng in this game or in this series. It just felt like he was always getting caught out, burnt down, and you know, yes, you're not going to have the same kind of level with the Varus, but it does feel like it's just not having the same level of impact that he would hope.
You know, again, I think there's an argument for changing something just for the sake of change and, like, we lost. But I will say, coming into the series, Heng only had a positive win rate on 3 junglers. Only 2 if we count ones he played more than once, because Xin Zhao, we played once. It was Maokai and it was Lee Sin. So,
yeah,
you know, not a lot of wiggle room in terms of what he's found success on. Again, Vi was the most played. Top Esports took it away. So I think TS have done a great job of realizing that Heng has been one of the members of, like, Heng's had good performances, especially in that first 10 minutes, but he's still a rookie. Coming into his first split, he is an area that you can look to target out and put some pressure on WE, so they can't have, you know, those early games that they typically all in on to even try to win games. If that gets shut out, they really don't have anything, and now taking away more comfort from them with things like these Cassiopeia bans, see where WE head. You would think they still want to go towards top lane here. They went with the Renekton last time around. I think the Ksante was just a better shout, like in game 1, and then give Shanks that counter pick opportunity once again.
Give him something you can go for. Because again, look, there were moments in that last game where the Cassiopeia was doing some decent damage, and we saw moments there, but you were too far gone. Didn't matter at that point. Now Top Esports seeing what they want to kind of put in here. Again, I'm very happy to see Biubiu on a much more of like a tank kind of setup right now, because like you said in the end of the last game, it doesn't matter what happens top lane. Top lane has literally been an island that we have looked at just to see what champions are being played. That's literally how we've, you know, set up for this series. So just getting Biubiu on something that will just infinitely scale, have that extra health, and just be a wall of meat to kind of deal with some of this damage feels better in my mind if you're trying to get this bot lane going, which again, with the Lucian Nami, shows the agency they want.
Come on. Just, I was going to say,
don't. You broke the rule. You broke the rule. We don't talk about hovers.
I'm surprised. Looks like they end up going with Ksante. Cho'Gath has also been something that Wayward's been playing a little bit in solo queue. Looks like trying to get ready for these matchups. Like Sion, but in the end, pretty stock and standard rookie going towards the Annie, which hasn't been a high priority in the series because WE are a team who really like to lean on it. So Top Esports haven't had to, like, you know, try and take it away or go for anything like that themselves. But now for WE, gonna get themselves some more DPS, get themselves some strong turret taking power with Tristana, even just more aggressive options. Tristana definitely something that if you give early ganks, early resources to, you can just start to snowball a matchup out of control. But WE not changing from the more bot lane focused approach that they've been going with. And for TES, I think going very stock and standard, having in on something that can look to counter gank or play aggressively around bot lane. They should have very strong 3v3s coming out with that Nautilus. And then Rookie going to be someone who's playing to enable his team and be more utility rather than a straight up carry this time around.
World Finals, so it is just going to be about how they're able to kind of, you know, get him around the map and use that power to their advantages.
WE need to come in. They need to find a turnaround for their spring split, for Sheen's predictions, for all the WE fans out there, because WE, again, it's a successful year. They've done better than 2022, where in summer they did not win a single series, but definitely would not want their playoffs run to end here. Game 2 was a complete stomp in favor of TES. And Sheen, I still believe they just need the right speech given to them. They just need
Are you trying to set me up to give the speech?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to do? Yeah.
I mean, I could give the speech, but if I give the speech, I'll be honest. I'm just gonna like read the lyrics to "Firework" by Katy Perry. To feel like, you know, I mean, like right now,
do you ever feel like you're a plastic bag?
They do. Yeah. They do right now. They just
drifting in the wind.
They just gotta ignite the light, you know? Let it shine.
I don't know how much I need you to know that I need you to do a screamo metal cover of Firework.
It's already it's already been done too many times. I would not be able to do it justice to the amount of times.
We'll find a song. We can find a song. We'll make it work for us to kind of get you the screamo part in it. We need to get more music, man. I swear to God, LEC owns the market right now in terms of the you know, the parodies or the OG songs. They're great songs, but you know, we have some incredible talents of our own. You know, Hysterics plays an awful lot of instruments in general. As we see a bot lane engage coming in here, Mark gonna get his ignite down, so Hope pops off his cleanse. This is kind of the way the Lucian Nami works. You're not really champions until level 2, level 3, but you gotta be very careful here.
Same game
As another hook comes out, same game plan. Here comes a heal. Mark may have gone a little bit too far forward. They're going to use the heal of their own. Heng with Lube up, looking for the level 2. He jumps in. That's a nice bramble smash onto JackeyLove. One more auto, but he doesn't go down. No! Flash is good, but hooked back in under the tower means it's traded back. Not the worst of trades here for WE, but they do lose their AD carry.
Level 2 gank coming out from the Maokai to try to get W in a better position this time around. At the very least, Hope is the one who picks up the kill on their side, to where Mark, of course, getting the return. They're going to feel slightly better about it for WE. Would have liked, though, off of those kills, right, had they been able to get that wave pushed in, deny some CS out from Maris, but not going to be able to. So we're going to see here. Hook comes out, but Hung with the level 2 gank on the Maokai. JackeyLove and Mark weren't ready for it. Twisted advance into the Bramble Smash. They do need to commit the flash here to get one, but it also just sets up for Mark to easily find the return.
Oh, Wayward might go down here. He will. So it's a trade of 1-for-1 on that top side. Not a bad trade here for Biubiu, as Tian was getting a little bit of vertical jungling going as he stole away the red buff.
Some red buff online himself, but still, it's all about the bot lane here.
Yeah. Rookie's here. Rookie's got flash and Rookie's got stun. Oh, hook goes wide, and that is a godsend for the WE bot lane.
It is, and now Shanks is going to be able to try to get something out of it in mid. Rookie does have TP, so he'll manage to get there quickly. Looks like Tian's catching the wave, so it actually won't amount into anything. Still, WE trying to, I guess, find a reprieve. Hung going to be able to take away this red buff himself. Looks like he should manage to get the Scuttle Crab with his bot side having Cryo, so much more stable start this time around. Yeah, unlike Game 1 and Game 2. Like I said, Ashin, we didn't get a Game 3 in the regular season and already off to a different start.
See how different it is. And yeah, I mean, this is the game plan. It has been the game plan for the longest of this entire series. Get this bot lane going. You can see exactly where to go. But this time around, Tian is in the area, and he is miles ahead in terms of camp farming because you're just putting in so many resources here. We're going to have a little bit of a move coming in. They haven't revealed the Maokai just yet. Tian has been spotted down, so they know that this isn't exactly a setup here. As Rookie going to take a hell of a lot of damage here from this explosive shot, and this is where Shanks starts to ramp up. You can see him trying to make something work here in this mid lane, making sure that Rookie doesn't get those easy roams again.
It's the right play, and for WE, I think that's what we keep doing. Invest vision around mid lane. We can already see some nice wards down towards the bot side of the lane. They actually just timed out. Allow Shanks to push up, play aggressively, not have to worry about the ganks coming through. It prevents Rookie from moving. You're going to be able to get those turret plates down with those explosive charges, and even potentially open up opportunities for Shanks to move, like he's doing right now. You typically don't really see it on Tristana, but hell, if him, Hung, and Biubiu made some kind of play up towards the top side or into the enemy jungle and work out.
Look, it's all been a bit chaotic in the first few minutes of this game as bot lane has become the battleground to see who is going to be coming out on top. We can see a Hex Splash into a hook here, and that's exactly what we're looking at. Mark will get Aqua Prisms and take a little bit of his health bar back into this, but because he's being so aggressive, you imagine they're looking for it. I love that for my Lwandy, but it's a little bit too far forward. They wanted to try and make sure he could cover for Hope. And it means he ends up giving up his life.
Another kill going over to TS. Down towards that bot lane. At least Hope doesn't end up losing out on any minions. So, you know, not the end of the world, but still more gold going into TS's pocket. You don't want to see it. Art doesn't initially connect with the CC, but kind of baits the members of WE in. Lwandy flashing forward, enough time for the cooldown to come back up on that Q. And it just lines up perfectly for Tian.
Yeah. Not really going to be saying too much after this point in the mid lane. The Tibbers ult is generally just a way to harass someone down, to maybe set yourself up. It's on such a low cooldown, and gives you an extra little bodyguard as well, little minion in that mid lane, so we do tend to see it a lot more often than not. And we can see that bot lane in a bit of a bad position right now for W. He's going to be pushing into JackeyLove. As you can see, he's just happy to let this one kind of soak up all these minions as long as he's, you know, not losing any himself. So little moments like that will hurt the WE bot lane, as it's about 1,000 gold lead now. Top lane, Biubiu just going to use his ultimate just to get himself there. Express train to the top lane. Clear out this wave as well.
7 minutes, 16 seconds on the clock, so we need to start thinking about Herald and how teams are going to approach that. I mean, for WE, with the fact that you picked Lucian Nami, in theory, you would have loved to just be able to play on that prio, dodging out on the hooks, using the fact you have the range advantage, rotate them up first. Kind of like they did, what was it, in game 1, to be able to take that one. But with TES actually being able to contend in that 2v2, I think it might make it much harder for WE to just outright look for that plan themselves.
Yeah, we're seeing the early game plan from WE kind of being mitigated and honestly answered completely here by Top Esports. Biubiu doesn't have ult, remember, so an all-out may be coming in here on the top side, but Wayward doesn't quite have flash just yet, and Biubiu knows it because his flash is on the exact same cooldown. Rookie, without Tibbers and without a stun, might be in a bit of trouble here if he doesn't use his flash straight away. There's the buster shot in just to kind of keep the harass down, and this is what the Tristana does best. She just keeps the lane push, constantly putting down pressure, and if a little bit of CC is added into that, Rookie is a dead man.
Still not even going to manage to get a summoner from him, so ultimately Top Esports feeling fine about it, and now WE, had they gotten that, that could have been the thing that opened up the Herald play that we were talking about. Yeah. Without it, you can see Hope had already went back down to bot lane, and even Lwandy following suit right now is going to do a nice job dodging out on those chains of corruption. And hell, I think now we're starting to look at TS. Rookie is TP. Maybe come back to lane. You have prio topside, and you be the team to look at it, but neither of these teams seem enthralled at all at the thought of a neutral objective. A dragon.
No.
A Rift Herald. Maybe an enemy jungle camp. I don't know. You know, splurge a little bit.
Live a little, you know? Get a vibe. Go for something. As we see maybe a little bit of a work here, as Wayward does get the all-out up onto the top side. Biubiu going to flash
there
back
we go.
on the lane.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wayward. Thank you.
Unfortunately, thank you, Wayward, but it means that he's not really going to see much else happen on this top side until his all-out comes back. So not really going to have anything else there. But you have gotten your wish, shall we say, for Top Esports. They are going to look towards gaining this dragon. It will be a late enough soul in the grand scheme of things. So I think WE are happy to keep scaling, keep getting the stacks of the Cull onto Shanks, and just wait for an opportunity to arise, shall we say.
I'm a simple person. I don't necessarily need, you know, them doing good League of Legends, but let's do things that equate to us getting something. You want to make these plays in bot and mid? Okay, let's turn it into Vision, into a Dragon, into a Herald, into something. So now Dragon taken off the board. Herald is going to be that next point of focus. We've already forced Flash out from Biubiu. So again, I think TS should be the team more comfortable looking for. You can see Mark making his way up now. So that should be the game plan. So for WE, it's going to be how do they react? Are they going to potentially look for a play down towards that bot side onto JackeyLove?
I must say, our observers love top lane.
They do.
Our observers in the LPL adore top lane. They adore watching wet noodle fights happen all the time. But with Tian very much kind of confirmed to be on that Rift Herald, we are going to see a 3-man kind of overhaul in this bot side. Mark just using his best to kind of prop himself up, make sure there's no one to be taking too much of an advantage in that mid lane. Tian is outside of the bush. Yeah, now he knows. I was like, he has been spotted. He was just kind of sitting there. So
and look at the minimap. Heng has actually been waiting here for such a long time. It's been like, a solid 30, 40 seconds of him expecting someone to start making their way down to cover, relieve some pressure, but no. And with that, I mean, TS got Dragon, they got Herald. WE didn't go for any type of, real play down towards spot. Even if they had, JackeyLove actually was quite respectful, went towards his turret, got, starting for that reset. So, yeah, not a lot of holes left open to be exploited by WE, but WE not even really even opting into the potential of going for it.
And this is back to the mid game. This is a lot more like game number 1. Game number 2, let's be, call a spade a spade. It just kind of blew up in the faces of WE, and Top Esports ran with it.
Game 2 was gross.
Happens. Yeah, game 2 was game 2 was a little gross. If you're any kind of enjoyer of League of Legends, because we all just want close games. This game number 3 is a lot more akin to game number 1, where we had some early game shenanigans. Mid game, both teams are kind of just a little bit kind of sitting on the laurels a little bit, kind of waiting for something to happen, being a bit more reactive than proactive. But it has been Tian to get the Rift Herald and the Dragon, so Tian has had a little bit more of an impact, you would argue, than his opposite number on WE. But again, good vision control. Look at all these wards right now. They know that Top Esports want to go for a dive on this bot lane because they've got the lethality Varus, who is on such a huge spike with that Yomu's Ghostblade.
Even just knowing that, like, Yomu's Ghostblade online, Gore Drinker on Tian, I love that they're doing this. Make your way into the enemy jungle, you go 10 with any 2v2 or 3v3 that you end up fighting, and start taking away some of these camps, sitting hung behind in golden experience, and putting more threat on WE's bot lane. Like here, even if, again, an invade, you shouldn't really think much about what happens to bot lane. They need to be concerned about a potential dive happening. They need to check for their jungle to see what camps are left open. It just pulls them away. So Top Esports doing a great job with these working parts. In fact, multiple points on the map, and we said it. If top lane is an island, I mean, Wayward's going to just have a field day up there in that 1v1. Huge CS lead, constantly keeping pressure. And sadly, we were saying WE need to nullify Tian's impact. They haven't done that. And if anything, it's been Heng who hasn't been able to find an impact on this game.
Yeah, really agree. Good job, Minion. The 6-man of WE keeping hope alive. Did have the dash, so I don't know if he would have been caught out or not, but just over a minute till the Dragon spawns, and Scuttle might be the call to arms right now. It's going to be the ultimate there. It's not going to get a hell of a lot done, as Tian was covering on this bot side, so Mark soaks that one up, knowing he has plenty of shields there with the safeguard and his own W as well. And everyone just kind of backs themselves away. Wow, not quite sure how that one missed at all, but there's a tidal wave coming in. JackeyLove has to heal. They are going to get the kick in eventually, but Mark taking a lot of damage, and Mark's dead. They've got the Chain of Corruption, and Tien's isolated. This was just a strange kind of nonchalantness from Top Esports' bot lane, and they just got caught.
I don't really know what they were expecting there. Even going against a team that has full vision control over that bot side river, so they know Shanks is in the mid lane, showed in bot. Like you said, resting on their laurels there, allowing for the punish. Sure, Rift Herald to come through. Looks like it should get the charge, but at the end of the day, we're still at the same point of the game. So WE keeping their hopes alive, still potentially managing us to at least bring us to the game 4. You would love that.
I personally would love that. As the only member of the
Teacher
casting
Ma?
team who can
Would love that.
Teacher Ma. Yeah, that's true. The OG. He must be so mad that like Aurelion Sol got a complete rework and he's already retired as a pro. He's just like, oh, this could have been it. This could have been my moment, you know?
You could
I know he's not meta, but
it could be the opposite as well. He might see the rework and be like, what the hell is this, and hates it.
That's true. I remember a lot of people hated the Aurelia rework. Like, Aurelia 1-tricks were like, this sucks. This doesn't keep her essence. And Dragon gets confirmed. We might see a fight happen afterwards. As we can see, the stun does come out at the end. There is Nature's Grasp to come out. They're going to jump off the mark a little bit. Shanks looks for a little bit of a reset. It's a bit of a split fight. He doesn't have the mana right now. Tian goes in with that Gore Drinker. And there's going to be the ultimate used by Biubiu, who TP on the side of this one here. JackeyLove has nowhere to go. You get the Dragon, but you lose 2 kills, and you gain nothing out of it. WE coming to life in this mid game a little bit.
That Sion absolutely came out of nowhere. When I saw Biubiu flash the wall, I'm like, what is this? Gets in, they managed to get 2 kills. And it will be something. So they will have to start to worry about, you know, the stacking of the dragons actually coming online. This next one will be soul point for TES, but especially if they can break down the spot lane turret, which it looks like they should with JackeyLove only just respawning. Hopefully they can start to try and build a bit of a gold lead. Gonna see here of Wayward chasing BB down to start with, but it looks like just accepting he's gonna be able to back off, coming in on the flank, and then I mean, TS actually wanting to continue to go forward and find the kills, not having the damage there to take down the Maokai, and then, yeah, being surprised, being like, what, Sion's here? And 1K gold lead, finally, in favor of WE.
Was that before or after 15 minutes? I think it was just after. I think Top Esports were ahead just before it, so...
The stats already been ruined.
Yeah,
TES have officially won 1 game. When they were in a deficit of 15
I feel like WE should. I feel like I need to give it to them regardless. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like they should have won that game. Obviously, that's not how the League of Legends work. But now, like, this changes the dynamic of how this game is going to work, because you come back into live, Hope's 2 items. Hope is huge right now. 2-1 and 2 on this Lucian. They will lose this tower down the bot side as Wayward kind of pushes that one in. But Rift Tile being taken, top lane now being pressured as well. You've got plenty of options here as WE as they look to try and catch out Rookie, who doesn't have flash. They're not going to commit the ultimate just yet. There it is. They're going to slow him down just a little bit. Rookie does just kind of have Mark keeping him off to the side, but Shanks has already eaten up all of that damage. Not quite sure how he took that damage. I think he might have gone into turret range a little bit, but hot lane turret will be taken. Hope might be in a little bit of trouble, but the Q does not land on the Tian, so he takes some pressure there. Whoa, Lwandy! Not sure why that was going in, but they're going to commit anyway and look to try and take out JackeyLove, who's taking some fair damage here from the jungler and support, but now your jungler is isolated, nowhere to go, nowhere to be, and he will be falling down. Mark, we all saw that hook. You cannot hide from us, but the result is the same. WE kind of showing again that little bit of panic where they all of a sudden find themselves an opportunity and they just try and do too many things at the same time.
Reverse of the last fight, though, where, I mean, last time around it was WE picking up kills but losing on the objective front. This time, Heng goes down, but at least able to take that top side turret. We'll see if Top Esports can get anything more here in the mid lane, but Hope should be fine, having summoners and, you know, still having that E up to be able to dash away. I'm just concerned now. Kind of looking at the game going forward, you have this poke Varus coming on through, up against things like a Sion, which is going to be incredibly tanky, but also a lot of things that are going to jump on you. The Lucian, the Tristana, the Maokai. It's going to be so hard for JackeyLove to stay safe. Not a whole lot of damage around it. Like, Rookie's going to be doing some, but you don't have any DPS. Their composition is pretty much purely built on burst, which means they're going to be heavily reliant on actually creating opportunities to get picks.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, like you mentioned, is that it's all burst damage, but when you've got things like a Bloodthirster coming in here for Shanks, you've got the Maokai, the healing as well for Lwandy, this is going to be harder and harder the longer the game goes on for Top Esports to do what they want to do, which is burst somebody out. Rookie seeing if someone was maybe moving toward, preferably Hope was moving towards that red buff, is sneaking himself off to the side. Has got a flash at a Tibbers available to himself, but knows that it's a very difficult thing to do when you have full summoners available to the WE bot lane. But happy to continue to move forward. We almost was popped there by JackeyLove. 36 seconds till the dragon spawns. It's an Infernal Rift. Rookie is still off to the side. This is what you talked about just a few moments ago about how they want to go for this. And oh, that ward is so pivotal to stopping that engage. So you can see now Wayward going in on top of the jungler, trying to get himself a little bit of a 1v1. We will see the ultimates come out, but now we can see that the jungler is already dead. Wayward does take a lot of damage, but he doesn't go down. You've lost your jungle now as WE with 10 seconds till dragon. You will be able to stall this out, I feel, because you have control. It's not exactly ideal situation for them. Rookie, here we go.
It's chunked.
Rookie almost gets chunked. They're going to see Tian isolated away as well. And you can see the damage these AD carries are putting in. This is the mid-game that we talked. And these objectives will not last long. They get at the tower, and they're giving time for Heng to come back.
They are, but Wayward already going to make his way over. Looks like for TS, they might even just concede with the fact that look at Rookie moving up to top side and taking his wolves. So we'll be the first dragon of the game going over to WE. Top Esports hoping to make a gold trade, get this turret for Rookie. I also like that Tian's making his way into WE's red side jungle. When you know you're giving up the major objective, try to find some camps, but he's also going to end up finding a Maokai.
It's a smite fight, and it's won by the Maokai.
Yeah, you don't want to find Maokais in jungles.
No. Not exactly a position you want to be in, especially when top lane and mid lane were being pushed out by the enemy team. But let's have a look at this, because Wayward just finds an opportunity to catch out this Maokai and goes straight in on him.
This is one of the reasons why it's nice to see Wayward get his time back in, is willing to make plays like this and creating these opportunities. Goes in, brings him over the wall, and you have JackeyLove close enough to deal damage. Mark even contributing the ult, not letting him get away. And Tian being the ultimate homie, using that Dragon's Rage to get the kick away so Wayward doesn't end up going down. But top esports once again find themselves in the same position, the same problem solving of, well, what do we really do unless one member kind of slightly oversteps, or, you know, you find an opportunity like you did in that last fight of where you're able to separate someone with that Ksante ultimate. Because if not, they really can't just walk straight forward into W's composition. The play will probably be like Tian coming from lane and trying to link up with either Rookie in top or JackeyLove and Mark in mid, and just hoping the CC from one of them is enough. You can burst them out before any reinforcements show up.
And this is the big thing, like, you know, despite them, as you say, like, you know, they got the win in that fight effectively. Oh, I'm going to stop myself for a second there as Wayward. With Flash, maybe look, is only not going to gain anything out of it, but they got the pick, but they couldn't turn it into anything else. You know, it was like, oh, we did it. We killed off their jungler 10 seconds before Dragon, and then they had to kind of fizzle out because they realized that all of their, you know, engage options were gone. They lost the Dragon's Rage, they lost the all-out just to get that pick happen, so they couldn't actually move forward after the fact. So little things like that we're going to have to keep ourselves an eye on, as two items are kind of coming across the board here. You got the Bloodthirster now for Shanks. You've got the Jack Show for Biubiu alongside that Sunfire Cape, so he's feeling pretty good. And again, this is a game where your DPS, as you said, is non-existent for top esports, and your engage options are exceptionally limited.
For TS, you're just so reliant on those things you use to engage. Like your ultis are so pivotal, and that's why, like, after the last pick, they didn't feel comfortable even trying to contest the Drake, even with numbers. So you really can't just use them all too lightly. You're gonna have to be decisive to a pick anytime you use them. Is now, speaking of picks, Tian might be able to find Biubiu. Biubiu's just far too tanky at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Biubiu found him more so than anything else, but now you're on a bit of a flank. This is WE looking to try and keep themselves alive in this series. Remember, they're 2-0 down, and here's the tidal wave coming in. They're going to try and catch on the Wayward, but Rookie flashes in and immediately gets caught off now by Hope, who's trying to put down back onto the DPS. Rookie goes golden, but Biubiu's just keeping everyone away. There's no support here for the mid laner of top esports, and that could just be the Baron.
It looks like it will be. WE making their way up there now. They already have vision control set up in the area. TES, you're going to want to try and contend. You're going to want to try and at least get Tian in here to go for a steal.
They've backed off it immediately. Wayward going to have to try and back himself away from this one here. Look at Biubiu. He's just keeping everyone busy. There's going to be a flash from Hope to make sure he doesn't get caught. Oh, he gets caught anyway. Tian found him, and the all-out is good enough. Tian will get out with his life, and Wayward is shredding now on the backside. Wayward wants his spot on this team permanently, but Shanks doing all he can. A flash in from Mark, but he's taking too much damage. Eventually, he does go down. Biubiu is the last one standing as Heng just keep himself alive. He's gonna have to walk away from this one as Rookie has already kind of moved himself back in with a teleport, but it's all chaos in the mid lane.
Tian with one of the sexiest plays of the year. I like, just with how behind top esports have looked in terms of map control and not being able to contest WE in any area, from having to run away, and Tian gets in there and makes it happen. My God, what an absolute hero. The fight not really going to evolve past that. No objectives taken, but I cannot wait to get the replay because that looked like all hope was lost heading into that potential fight for TES.
I mean, pure perfection there from Tian, but I will say, as much as it was awesome to see and really well done, let's have a look at the replay here. As they just fully collapse in there, and they think, again, like you said, it looks like WE have an option, but it's just Tian absolutely outplaying it.
Yeah, goes in, follows through, flash into the ward jump, and then manages to get the kick into the rest of his team.
Yeah, you get the kick and that's it. We can't go any further. We got ourselves a dragon fight in 16 seconds, or might be just about now. As everyone brings themselves back into this mid lane. Gaining control, trying to see if he can do something there. Wayward knows he has to be the front line here for his team, otherwise the rest of them just can't walk forward.
No, a lot will be down to Wayward. Has the ulti available. Again, separating someone from his team, or maybe being a dive buddy alongside Tian. The problem is you have multiple damage threats on the side of WE that you need to worry about. Sure, maybe you can jump on Hope, but then you have to care about Shanks and vice versa. Going to be incredibly hard to dive in and try to make a play like that. And then JackeyLove will be exposed.
I mean, you don't have flashes anymore. Remember this. They caught out Wayward. They've also caught out Rookie as well. There's one kill. This is while Tian is soloing the dragon, but he's just not got the damage to do it quickly. You've lost two. Tian wasn't with his team, and now he has to be the hero who steals away this Baron.
Tian already having one hero playing this game. Going to have an opportunity to look for another.
I don't
Smite
think he's gonna go for
will
it.
be up, but yeah, not even going to try and contend with the steal. You're giving so much agency over the side of WE. I think it's just hoping, you know, live to fight another day, keep farming up waves, get some more damage under your belts. And honestly, probably thinking we'll just prey on WE if they make mistakes. WE have been very mistake-prone in series, but I don't know if you can rely on that in this game where not only Baron, but the pushing power of double AD carry, the pushing power of a Tristana in the mid lane.
That's a Tristana now that would have finished up Infinity Edge as well. Didn't actually get to notice it either, but Hope already on 3.5 items. And you're on soul point. It's Earth, Wind, and Fire here for top esports if they can remember how to get themselves up to soul. But 3,500 gold now for WE, and they've got themselves online. We are getting to the point now where they're going to have, you know, serious amounts of frontline, serious amounts of engage available to them. And it's just going to be hard. You need more hero plays. That's the problem. The TN play was amazing, but then it cost them everything. All the flashes, all the ultimates, and it just meant that you couldn't really go for a fight afterwards.
But this is what you do. This is what you do when the game is dire. Cheeky brush play.
A little bit of a cheeky brush play, but that's Biubiu. So I don't know how much damage you're going to really put down onto him. Eventually he'll go down. Can you look for anything else afterwards? Wayward moving forward. There's going to be the ultimate used. 2 ultimates here from WE. There's a good Aqua Prison off as well. Biubiu still doing work. As you can see, Tian looked for something, but still no flash available to him means he cannot make the play. It's a pick-off. It's a side laner no longer available to the Baron buff, but that means you've left open mid and exposed it to a certain tower take.
Or TS, though, right? They would have been in the same position had they not gone for this pick, and they probably still would have gone down. But now,
TP.
gonna look at the flank.
They're looking for a bit of a flank there. Hope is here. Is he going to get caught out? Yes, he is. They go all out, but he flashes, he cleanses, and Tivers cannot do the damage. That's all of your real engage no longer available. There is a flash kick available. So Tian won it! And he does end up putting himself right on top of Shanks, but he can jump over the wall. Tian wanted the heroics, but the damage is no longer there. Biubiu TPing back in on top of this because they know they can look for the fight. They've no more engages. You're all on basically running away mode right now. Shanks going to TP in. They're trying to catch them out. WE want to put in the final blow right now. The top esports are just a little bit too far away.
Not going to be able to go for it, but still having the Tristana here. Now, Hope trying to find Wayward.
Oh, the slows and the ultimate, the culling. And that's Lucian, that's Hope picking up another kill. These staggered death timers and WE, they find themselves in an incredibly similar position to game one. They just need to eke it out. They just need to make sure they bring it home.
Wave in mid, waiting on a wave in top that should be here very shortly. So I think WE should be able to start just breaking down these structures. You don't have anyone who could safely really walk forward and soak any of the damage that WE have to offer with Wayward going down. So at the very least, it's going to be 1 inhibitor. Maybe 2.
Maybe 2, maybe more.
Maybe the
Tian
game
walks away. Yeah, I was going to say, but this time around, WE do not bite off more than they can chew. They've got 2 inhibitors, plenty of control around the map. They know that Soul is available for top esports at a minute 30. They want to reset. They want to use that gold they just got.
Good on them. Get back, you know, hit even stronger power spikes. You're gonna see here, WE. I mean, Hope got found, doing everything they could to get on top of him. Damage, sadly, just really isn't there for their side. Hope manages to escape, all the sums coming on through, and then Tian tries to do the same thing he did before, but Shanks has a stopwatch, has the ability to rocket jump over the wall, and sadly, just ends up giving his life for nothing and allowing for WE to push further. Just baiting your whole team into that engage, and then enough time for Biubiu to respawn, get the TP in, and then to chase top esports down.
If it worked once, why wouldn't it work again?
I feel like we've seen this. No.
It's 40 seconds, though. Now they know that everyone was probably in that bot lane as Rookie and JackeyLove kind of reveal themselves. And WE, 30 seconds. This is the thing, though. Top Esports have awarded themselves with those early dragons. They don't have to fight this if they don't want to. WE, on the other hand, also can take the same point of that particular playbook, back themselves and push them into the lane if they feel like they have a better advantage. But come back into it, and the QSS picked up for Shanks here, so he knows how valuable that can be with the fact that he's not running the cleanse. He's got himself a teleport. And everyone just kind of backs themselves away. Top Esports not completely dead in the water just yet. We've seen what they can do, and we have seen the mistakes, as you mentioned. Very prone by WE to make mistakes, but for the moment, it looks like they're just gonna be able to take this dragon in peace, get themselves up to 2 dragons.
I also think, luckily for WE, in terms of how their comp plays out against Top Esports, it should be very hard for them to even give over any kills if mistakes come up, because you would pretty much need members to be isolated. If Biubiu is ever around, he is shown he's going to be able to soak up all of the damage that comes on through and buy enough space. You also even have things like the rapid fire cannon range. Tristana's range is insane with all her mobility to reset in fights.
Rookie's not here.
Esports don't have any options.
I mean, you're going to lose 3 inhibitors now, and they're going to put the tidal wave down as well. It's going to land on the 3 members. Nautilus is dead. The chain of corruption just a delay. Tian wants a flank. He wants to get behind this, but no flash, which means he gets jumped on himself. He has to use the stopwatch to see if he can give himself a little bit more time. Eventually he goes in. The Tristana's been found. That's fantastic here from the side of Top Esports. They got themselves one of the AD carries, and they got the Maokai. They're going to be able to take the Sion as well. WE! Oh no! I've seen this one before! You've no idea what's going to happen! They're going to try and throw away, but this time Hope and Lwandy are still alive. Wayward is very, very low. If he gets caught out, he will die instantly. But everyone backs themselves away. There's double super minions and a hell of a lot of damage, so I don't think WE are going to lose this time around. Hope, though, taking a lot of damage. He gets a Sorrel proc there. JackeyLove and Wayward have gone too far forward. Oh, the stopwatch is massive. Rookie can't get it up. Hope is everything. They've no CC to stop him. The super minions are printing. Top Esports, go back your base. You need to stop these minions.
They need to stop the game from being ended from all the work that WE had gotten done beforehand. And my God, those, like, Tian's angle, that's like the only way that they can win fights. It is their only win condition in these setups, and the fact that he can find it again blows my mind. Baron, though, is back on the cards, and it looks like that's where WE are headed.
I mean, they have to look at it. This was just minions. No one from WE touched those towers, and they're already basically dead. So Cullen comes out just to make this one a little bit faster, as WE know they've got themselves the pressure. They just need that killer blow.
WE, I mean, like, they might be giving over picks. Like, these fights might be going a little bit sideways for them, but the fact that they're still getting objectives is making all the difference. We're going to see here, though, the engage comes out, but Tian waiting in the wings. Gets the Sonic Wave off on towards Lwandy, buys a bit of time by going golden, and then here able to follow up by going onto Lucian and then picking the Tristana. Great CC chain with the Ksante. Make sure that there's no time for him to react, and instantly Shanks gets brought down.
This is it. This is the final push here. If you can't win with triple inhib down in a Baron, you just can't win, WE. You have to make it stick. They're pushing in now, trying to cover off these minions, but you got a fair bit of minion kind of control, you would imagine, with the Varus. Got plenty of ways of kind of clearing out these waves, but with the Baron buff coming in, that Annie's not going to be as good. Biubiu is soaking up a lot here. Wayward gets a nice knockback. Chain of Corruption landing onto the Maokai. Not ideal, because he can go golden. Tidal wave comes over, and it's a tsunami just washing over Top Esports. They've lost their tank. They've lost their engage. Shanks wants this game to end. A double kill for Hope. They take down the Varus. Shanks gives his life for the cause, because they know they're still in this series. Triple kill for Hope. And this is going to be WE keeping themselves alive. 2-1 now in this best of 5. And we'll wait to see what happens again.
WE have won the hardest game in my mind out of the 3 that they've had to play. Winning when you are 0-2 down being able to come back, being able to build once again a solid team composition, know your win conditions, and just deliver. Great to see by them. And honestly, just a strong team effort really coming through, right? This wasn't like game one where you can really highlight one individual, like, oh, it was Hope who was almost able to bring them across the finish line. Simon's like, all right, Hope and Shanks were these big carries. They did their job. Lwandy had this time around, a lot of like his idle waves and his bubbles were the ones finding huge value. And even Biubiu, like, knew his role, was on the side, absorbing all the damage. Like, yeah, really just like a solid team effort coming out from the side of WE and TES. I mean, again, kind of drafting a comp that is one, more pick oriented, two, very like burst heavy, and like so more indexed into the early game, indexed them apart. Once they fell a little bit behind, just really wasn't much they could do.
Yeah, and this is a thing as well. Like, we had a lot of questions for top esports coming into this series. I think game one definitely saw some shakiness from them. Game two, they smashed, but game three, we came back to those questions because they have not been answered. They have not been, or at least not satisfied in a satisfactory way, because this is a team with, on paper, should just wipe the floor with top Team WE. They shouldn't be coming out of this going, oh, well, we didn't have any engage or we got outdrafted or whatever like that. Team WE seem like, especially in games 1 and 3, like they are coming in with a much better setup, a much better idea of how they want to play this game. And much like we've seen throughout the regular season, top esports are plagued with this idea that, if they don't really have ways of kind of making things happen, if they don't find that massive snowball in the early stages, they don't really know what to do with the game. And WE, massive credit to them, because they are doing exactly what they need to do. They're stopping JackeyLove from getting ahead. They're stopping that bot lane from just kind of taking over.
I'll actually say that I feel like the fact that TS had this comp that it feels like it should be really hard to play out from behind, and they did fall behind. The fact that they still were creatively looking for ways and understood their win conditions, I think, was kind of impressive. Because in my mind, TS, usually when they're behind, don't show a lot of resilience. But this time around, they had creative ideas. Sadly, the hole and the disparity in terms of like what really could happen was just too big. And yeah, for WE, there were some hiccups, which in my mind is kind of concerning. But at the same time, I agree with what you started with, that I feel like WE have at least come in with more of an idea in terms of how they want to play around this series in particular. I think TS have looked like the more experienced, creative, and like smarter team in terms of like individual game set plays. But I feel like WE look like they've come in with like a better understanding of how they play and how top esports play.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think that I like seeing rookie on carry-ish champions, the LeBlanc, the Ari, the things that can kind of create their own little, moments, and if needed be, can take over a game. The Annie is just not something that I would ever really associate it. Not even just because of the champion, but just the way it plays. It's not really something that I would kind of go, yeah, that's like hard carry, rookie champion, something that we, classic play style as such, but it just feels like it's just not really working out for them. And I would love to see them kind of, just giving back that kind of priority to something like, to see rookie kind of go for it. I understand the idea of it. I get why you take it, especially to something like the Tristana, but...
Stop. We don't enable it. I'm with you. I want rookie on things that create plays and do cool things. Earlier in the split, when top esports picked Gragas mid, I'm like, you guys are not the lineup that picks Gragas mid. We don't.
You're not that guy, dude. You're not that guy.
Exactly. So rookie. We don't do that. Look at our other lanes. Just, it isn't in the cards. I'm with you. More agency in mid, more playmaking, and an ability to carry. Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely agree. But WE keep themselves alive. It is still top esports with a 1 game away advantage, basically 2-1 in this.